welcome to the NX display tutorial. Here we're going to go over the few basics of NX and how this software works. So to start off, when you open NX, you'll get this right here, and you'll get these tabs over here, which this one right here, roles. You can create customized rules based on the kind of user or operator you are in NX. For us, we're going to do the full menus. That way we can have everything we're looking at. Take note that my display is probably going to be different than yours, so you may have to do a little digging to find the same toolbars I am, but they should all be able to be found up here at the top once we created our part and we're inside that. So you click on new, and it brings up this box and a whole bunch of different options of different things we can do in NX and different file types that we can start creating. We're going to want to create a model, and we're going to name it test or whatever you decide works for the part we're working on, and then make sure you decide its location. For this tutorial, we'll just use the desktop as our file path location. Then we hit OK. And also, one thing is here, when you create it, you can change it between millimeters, inches, or all. I created it in millimeters. So here's the working plane of NX. Here we have a bunch of snaps. This is similar to AutoCAD. You can turn them on and off based on what you're trying to locate on your drawings that you create. This one will snap your cursor to the endpoint. That way you can locate that location and click and add a line or do other functions as needed. Midpoint, control point, circles, and so on. Down here we have our sketch and other sketch tools. So if we're going to create a sketch, we'll click here, and these are the different tools we can sketch with to create our part. They'll become active when these ones over here will become active when we click on it. Up here we have our modeling, our things. We can extrude the part, create a new plane, create a whole patterns, bodies. With all of these, you can click on it and you'll get more options to see more parts. Like this one has a whole bunch of things you can turn on and off for this toolbar. At the end of every toolbar you can click it and add or reduce features or tools as you need. For now we're just going to leave it. Here's a measuring tool. This right here is how we go between different views, top, left, right, isometric, depending on what you want. Click the down arrow, you can see it. Super handy. Right here is our shading. We can change the part, wireframe, make it clear, whatever we want. And then this changes our background to different colors. Now that we have gone over some of the basics, let's create a simple part. By clicking here on sketch, we're going to create our sketch. Now we want to choose the plane that we want to build our part on. As you can see, depending on where I put my mouse over here on this field, depends on where it'll activate. So we're going to build it on the top view. As you can see, if you click the center mouse, you can rotate your object around. But for now, we'll click here and hit OK. And it will rotate us so we're looking down upon that location. This is a single line right here, or arc, or circle, or square. If we use this command, it'll continuously add more lines every time we click. And if we click hold, it'll create us an arc for us. So we click. If you click and hold, it creates an arc. If we click here, we can get arcs. There we are. Now we've completed it. One important thing to know about the dimensions is the software will automatically define everything for you, but if it's in yellow, if it's in red, it means the dimensions can be changed and are not specified by us as a certain dimension. If we want the dimensions to be solid, we click on this one right here. It'll create a blue line and dimension it, and we can add the dimensions that we want to our part, or to the lines, or the arcs. Doesn't like that. Of course it doesn't like it, because we've already defined that from this one right here. Say we want to define the length of this line, make it 90, and we want to define that, make it a nice even number, and all that's defined now. When we're done modifying our sketch and we want to turn it into a 3D-dimensional part, we click Finish Sketch. You can see there's nothing here yet. We need to extrude it. We click on Extrude, pops up with this box. Now we click on our sketch. We can use this to do it to next. If we have other features we want it to combine with, but we just want to do value. Give us a value. And then if we had other parts and this was gonna join up with it, we have lots of different options. Most of the time you'd probably want it to unite, but since there's nothing else for it to combine to right now, this should be fine. And there we are. There's our part. Say you want to make a hole into it, you just use the hole command. And click. You can define this part, that dot, by adding dimensions. When we're done with that, come back here and hit OK. Once you've located your hole, all you have to do is click Finish Sketch, which will be up here or down here, depending on how your layout is. And then you find your hole, make the hole the size you want, then hit OK. You can see I cut out over here part of the model and right here in the middle. You can change the hole sizes. You can create any type of hole or counter bore. You can put threads in there if you want. If you want to pan this object, you hit Control. Shift will pan back and forth your object. Center click will just rotate it around. Then center click, left click will zoom in and out. You can also use the scroller to zoom in and out. That's the end of this tutorial.